Former Trump campaign manager Corey Lewandowski has long been accused of having an elastic view of the truth. Still, that hasn't stood in the way of repeated invitations to come on cable news. But the media's relationship with Lewandowski is now in question after he dropped a bombshell by telling the truth. In the 2016 election, Corey Lewandowski set a new standard for belligerence towards the press. Shortly before he was ousted from the Trump campaign, he even briefly faced battery charges for manhandling a female reporter.
I can't believe he just did that.
So it raised eyebrows when Lewandowski was quickly snapped up as a paid commentator at CNN.
I'll tell you exactly like it is, whether you like it or not.
Fast forward to this week, Lewandowski was called before the House Judiciary Committee to answer questions about possible obstruction of justice by the president. At one point, he was asked about this MSNBC interview back in February.
I don't ever remember the president ever asking me to get involved with Jeff Sessions or the Department of Justice.
But that's not what Lewandowski told special counsel Robert Mueller under oath.
And that was not true, was it?
I have no obligation to be honest with the media because they're just as dishonest as anybody else.
Okay, then, but if Lewandowski fessing up that he's a liar was any revelation, that didn't stop CNN from bringing him back.
The truth is, Corey, you answered some questions, but you didn't answer the majority of the questions. And, you know, our legal experts
I think
this
that's
morning, hold on one second,
just let me...
Well, you can't say you weren't warned.
First of all, there was no point in the judiciary hearing at all, and I thought everybody made a fool of themselves, but it was the most revealing part of it, which made it worthwhile in the end, was the part about him admitting that he lied to the media. Not like we didn't know that all the time, but I find it stunning, you know, that CNN...
Yeah, what a world we live in where somebody is being honest about being dishonest, and somehow that's just such a strange thing. The thing that gets me is I live in New Hampshire. He's thinking about running for Senate from New Hampshire. So he's gone on the air and gone in congressional testimony and admitted, I'm not honest with the media. So how are we supposed to believe as New Hampshire voters anything he says to the media then? What does this say for his campaign? What does this say for him as an individual?
I think people forget that the media, I mean, everyone vilifies the media. We're like right up there with lawyers, within people who are most hated. But the media represents the people. We're supposed to be the eyes and the ears in the room because ordinary citizens can't necessarily be there. So if he feels no obligation to be honest with the media, that means he feels no obligation to be honest to his constituents if he runs for office, to the general public, to basically anyone.
Right.
That speaks volumes.
Yeah, because we're the conduit to the general public.
That CNN interview was about 16 minutes long. I watched the whole thing. I inflicted it on my students as well. And I have to say, it was on the one hand, if you look at it just right in front of your face, you'd say, this was a good, tough interview. She really let him have it.
Talking Alison Camerata?
Yes, absolutely. But then you back up a little bit and put it in a larger context. You say, what the heck was he doing on there? I mean, this was not news, it wasn't journalism, it was infotainment. Let's put the self-admitted liar on the air for 16 minutes and have fun with them and drive up our numbers. It was really kind of a despicable performance.
And they're going to do it again, right?
Oh, yeah.
By the way, I think Alison Camerata does a really, really good job grilling people, but like you said, he shouldn't have been on that air at all. But Jeff Zucker likes these sort, you know, CNN repeatedly has Kellyanne Conway come on and spar with Chris Cuomo. And yeah, they like the sort of food fight reality TV political programming, and they're going to keep on doing it. I'd love it if other outlets did not give him a platform, but I'm not sure how to.
Well, if you're going to give him a platform like Fox did, and you're interviewing him as Martha McCallum, at least ask him about it. She didn't even ask him about this at all.
Didn't ask him about what?
About the testimony of the previous day. Yeah, they said he has no.
If you've got a source who admits, well, I'm not going to tell you the truth because I don't think there's any value in telling anyone in your profession the truth, you stop using them as a source. And I think that should apply on broadcast. He's not a source here. He's a guest. I think it should be the same litmus test. You don't think it's worth telling the truth to the media, then you should not be interviewed by the media.
That's not a bad rule of thumb, right?
Yeah.
I suppose I could have put up with the CNN interview better if at the end of it they had said, and this is your exit interview. We will never see you again.
Yeah, that would have been good.